How many leaf shapes do you know by heart?
At least 10, I think.
Teach me. I mean, I'll forget. But I still want to hear.
Mm, Linear, needle shaped, lanceolate, elliptical, deltoid, cordate, lyrate, sagittate, palmate. I know there's more.
I could never remember all those types. But I do know the name of many fruits.
Probably because you can relate them to taste.
And to a texture, a smell. Maybe if I ate leaves, I could recite their names.
Cacao is my favorite. Maybe because its taste lingers tied up with a certain emotion. It's been so long. I used to pick them up while hiking in the village where I grew up. You knew they were ripe when they were red. They were sweet and tart.
I didn't know that about cacao.
Rare fruits bloom in South America. You see them hanging from trunks and stems that you quickly classify the same.
Yet they produce such different harvest.
It makes you think about their roots.
Their metabolism supported by the leaves, and then the sun.
All the roots form a tangle of life that moves in a place we can't see. Plants can't move like we can. That's been on my mind.
Not like us, but their strategies for displacement are so collaborative.
They know their limits, but see the rest of the world as an extension, a possibility.
I can't put my finger on where I saw it. Where was it? It was an orchid that had a delicious nectar inside a bucket shaped trap for a bee. The bee was able to escape the trap easily, but the sticky liquid grabbed the pollen on the way out. The bee took it in the air. It was fascinating.
In some ways, humans do the same. The possibility of making more of us, feeding more of us. Agriculture sits on that junction, allows us to settle, to anchor.
Other knowledge embeds us to the land.
What do you mean?
I'll think about it more. My mind wanders.
It is very relaxing here. Such a place. Would you call this a garden?
Perhaps.
I think of another species. If they saw the earth for the first time, they wouldn't understand why we're in charge, with plants and water being so expansive.
They would know we have a bond.
What would they think of the soil? We hardly ever think of soil in the city.
That it's the place where we are finally together. An organic fusion.
I like that.
Listen, do you hear? I didn't know there were train tracks close by.
It's hard to escape the desire for humans to go places.
All living things must move.
But we built machines
First, we walked for thousands of years,
until we rolled through the threshold.
motivated by expedition and pleasure.
I wouldn't say that, although I guess that's one description of power.
I read a story the other day. It started with a phrase like, behind every man now alive stand 30 ghosts, for that is the ratio by which the dead outnumber the living. Since the dawn of time, roughly 100 billion humans have walked the earth.
We move with our minds.
Imagine every human body that perished used to give life to a plant.
We would have forest graves in every city, and rural areas would be nurtured with our bodies.
We would absorb the carbon we created with our other existence.
A hybrid of cortex and epidermis, blood and chlorophyll.
our arms and legs alive again, growing upward, around, through empty buildings.
The living, breathing through our fingers turned to leaves.
It makes me want to dance,
Want to climb
vertically and horizontally.
into the dreams of movement left behind by the past.
So that time won't leave us behind. I remember what I was saying before about what embeds us to the land. It's being urban.
We can't go back now. It's a waste of energy. But we can simplify.
Architecture should be as the porous and vascular root.
Protective and mutual in its relation to place.
It's starting to rain.
Let's go home.